Hi, welcome to our spring edition of Best Friends. It's April. Oh my word, where is the time gone? We have a very few months until we have kitten season beginning. Usually sometime in late April and early May, definitely by June, we start seeing an influx of kittens. Right now, we don't have all that many. We're going to be seeing some terrific cats today, and oddly enough, almost every one of them is a black and white color pattern. Obviously, this isn't a cat. This is a weasel. This is Ziggy. Ziggy is a little male ferret. He is an extraordinarily wonderful ferret, in my opinion. He is loving and snuggly, or as snuggly as a ferret can be. They're so interested in everything that it's pretty hard for them to stay close long enough to snuggle. But when he's sleepy, he's a very snuggly ferret. He's all wonderful, though. Ferrets aren't good pets for little children because they do explore with their mouth. And the new state law does require that all ferrets be rabies immunized, which, of course, is the best thing for the ferret and the family anyway. If you want to meet Ziggy, come on by. He's just a super guy. This handsome guy is named Gibbs. So if you need a crime solved, here's your cat. Gibbs was adopted from us, but he came back because he does not care at all for dogs. Actually, he really dislikes dogs. So if you are a dog-owning household, you do not want Gibbs. However, if you're not a dog-owning household, Gibbs is a wonderful cat. He is kind of interesting. He's got like a 3/4 length tail with some kinks in it. I think that's rather clever of him. And he has a lovely short coat and some fascinating markings on his paws. So even though he's black and white, that doesn't mean he's anything less than special, because look at that. Isn't that fun? He has very nice markings. He has white ear tufts too. And he loves catnip, which is always a big plus in a cat, in my opinion. This is Sweetie Pie. Sweetie Pie is a female. Sweetie Pie is declawed, and like many, many declawed cats, she hates other cats. So we have these little personality quirks with the kitties. They're cats. They're allowed. Anyway, Sweetie Pie is, when she came to us, had some dental issues, so we have had her teeth cleaned, and she's, as long as she is not facing another cat, she's fine. As a declawed cat, she should not have access to outdoors unless it's a very controlled environment, like a cat play yard. You would be surprised at how many people have those that are walled in and have a net roof on them, so cats can go outside and enjoy the outdoors, but remain safe from predators and keep the environment safe from the cat. Except for wandering butterflies and stuff. Those are fair game. See a nice change up here from black and white. This is Kitty Coo, and as you can see, she is a tortie point. And I believe she is a 30 point rag doll, actually. You'll notice the typical snowshoe pattern and the longer coat, which is very typical of a rag doll. She is, this kitty is a little bit on the shy side. She is not going to do well in a household where there is lots of noise and confusion. For that reason, her paperwork says no small children, because that's what her owner told us. I think probably she would do well with kids. She's just not going to do well with the kind of noise and disruption that can come along with kids. You're a little hissy. I think it's because the ferret is over there and she doesn't much care for the ferret. It's a scary thing. You never know. It might eat a cat. This is Mask. I would be willing to bet you that Mask is a terrific mouser, because right now she is thinking that maybe the ferret is a rodent that she could engage. Boy, would she ever have a surprise. Mask is a tortoiseshell, so instead of black and white, we have black and apricot in this one. She's just not real sure what that varmint is, but she's thinking it's something that might be a problem for a cat. Anyway, Mask has a wonderful coat. It's very soft and velvety, and I think that she is probably going to be a good family cat. The deal with this little girl is you would definitely want to make sure she remains inside your home at all times for at least a year, because if she gets out, I don't think you would ever actually see her again. She's that cautious. It isn't that she's feral at all. She likes people, but she is very wary. And that's the kind of cat that doesn't really do well outside, because any startling and they're gone. And while we do microchip, of course, all of our adoption animals, microchips aren't traceable like cell phones, you know. That doesn't work that way. What they are is, if you have the cat in your hands, then you can scan them. And that's the problem. It's having the cat in your hands. Anyway, Mask is a very good option as a family member. I think that's a great name. This is Misty. You could change her name. Her mother was an orca. Yeah. She's a very chubby cat, but she's also a very sweet cat. She is declawed, and so she comes with some of the issues that declawed cats often have, and you have to watch for. That isn't to say that every declawed cat does have issues, but many of them do. We always are careful about introducing other cats to them. Sometimes they don't tolerate that well. Sometimes they are much more frightened of dogs than other cats are. And oddly enough, of the black and white cats we have right now, we have 3 that are declawed, and all 3 of them are females. Just kind of a strange thing. I think last year we had well over 100 and some odd cats come to us that were declawed, and many of them had behavior issues, which is probably why they came here. Otherwise they would have remained in their own home. But I no way of knowing whether they had those behavior issues before they were declawed or developed them afterward. The thing is that sometimes that surgery will, rather than correct a problem, will aggravate it. But in Misty's case, Aside from being a little on the submissive, shy side, she's a great cat. I think she'd probably do well in a family with kids as long as they aren't very young. She doesn't like to be held, and you do have to respect that. But that's often the case with very large, heavy cats. They much prefer sitting beside you and being companionable than being toted around. It's uncomfortable for the cat when they're heavy. Right, Misty? Yes. Yes. So, respect the cat, right? Okay, we will. This is Miss Bobo. Yeah, that's Miss Bobo, okay. She doesn't like ferrets. Miss Bobo is my office cat. She's my buddy, aren't ya? Yeah. She has been with me for about 4 months. The deal with Miss Bobo is that she really is not that fond of other cats. And our shelter cat, Califord, came into the office, and Miss Bobo was not pleased. And as a result of that, Miss Bobo ended up with some abscesses because Califord, being the jerk that he can be, bit her. And so we had to get that all cleared up, and then she caught an upper respiratory infection during the process of healing from the abscesses. And now she's over that too. Miss Bobo also has, I think, orca DNA in there somewhere because she's huge, and she is also declawed. She is an exceptionally loving cat. I have to make sure that she gets salmon oil on her food or she develops a bad case of dandruff, but that's forgivable. She does also hold down your desk and can render a keyboard pretty much inoperable. Stop, dear. That's not giving you a good representation of your lovely personality, really. But beyond that, I mean, she can also keep your lap very warm, and she is a lot of company. So wasn't that fun? All of those great cats. We do have kittens in foster care. They're not anywhere near ready for adoption yet, so stay tuned. We have one bunny who is also black and white. Come in and meet him if you will. And now we're going to move to our adoption garden. And I'm really excited about the adoption garden. We have a new roof, and we have a fenced inside, and we're going to have pretty murals and flowers. It'll be worth coming for. See you there. This adorable little girl came to us as a stray, so we don't know her name, but we do know that she is an absolutely adorable dog. She is a pit mix. And so, like all the bully breeds, we're going to require that you have a fence for her safety. Yes. And because what person in their right mind would give a dog the capability of running a neighborhood and putting their entire income at risk? Because judgment is not a dog's strong suit, at least not in human terms, and you don't want to put your whole checking account at your dog's disposal, do you? So we keep our dogs at home where we know what they're doing, right? Anyway, this adorable little girl will have to have a fence. We always do home visits with our bully breeds, whether they are precious like this one or whether it's a Mastiff or whatever, and some of the others as well. She is not spayed. That comes with the adoption. I think this little one would do beautifully with kids She has a lot of energy. She's very confident. She's very forgiving. She is very comfortable being touched everywhere. And of course, you would want to come and visit with her and bring anyone in the family who might also be involved with her. She would be great at going for walks. She would be a good dog to take through training. I'm sure she'd be great on trips, and like most pits, she would make a terrific indoor dog because she has a very short coat, and you don't want to leave a girl like this outside. Besides, why would you? You wouldn't ever get to talk to her. And this dog is definitely cut out to be a family member that is as much a part of your daily comings and goings and talkings and watching TVings and cleaning and doing all of those things as anybody else in the family should be. I'm sure she can hold very intelligent discussions also. Yes. And I know she could help you fix dinner. Yes. This is Gertrude. Gertrude is 9 months old. Gertrude is not a pit something, she is a pit, period. Gertrude is a puppy with a lot of energy. She's just been spayed. When Gertrude came to us, she had a terrible case of Demodex. She didn't have any hair. So you can tell how long we've had her because now she is hairy again, like a dog should be. But it's always going to have kind of an odd texture to it. She is a blue fawn, and that color is often associated with skin issues anyway. Not that she will necessarily have any more, but once a dog has Demodex, you have to kind of watch for it for the rest of their life. It's not that hard to fix if you catch it quickly. It's just if you, I know, yes, that's a sweet girl. If you let it go, then it becomes a huge problem because then you get secondary infections and all sorts of things. Often dogs that have allergies will pick up Demodex too. It kind of comes with the dog, and there are some dogs that are more prone to it than others. And often dogs that have food allergies will break with it because their immune system is challenged by the allergy too. And so it's kind of a cluster of problems. But this little one has beaten them all, and she is going to be a magnificent pet, but only for a family that is comfortable with a bully breed and the kinds of precautions that you have to take to keep your dog safe, because no one would want anything to happen to this little girl. She is absolutely precious. Very bright, very responsive, would be a terrific dog to take through obedience training and maybe even try agility with. She is just a sweet, sweet girl. And you have to have at least a 5-foot fence because she will go over anything shorter and be out greeting the neighborhood. And I could bet you that there are going to be people in the neighborhood who see not a wonderful dog, but a scary pit bull. And that would be a very uncomfortable situation. You just don't want to go there. Right? Well, Gertrude, what do you think? Like any dog, you definitely want to bring the whole family down to meet her. I don't know how Gertrude does with cats. We definitely would not want her going into a household with another female dog. She's young, so there may not be problems for a while, but after about 3 years, they do start erupting. It's better to avoid the possibility than it is to challenge it. So we just don't do that. Right, I know. This is Bobby. Bobby just came to us. Bobby is having a little bit of an adjustment issue because she was just left at the shelter. her owner is moving to another country, not one that's close by, and they can't move Bobby with them. She has been raised with a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old, and so she is very accustomed to children, and that's a good thing, because a dog that's comfortable with children is probably going to be comfortable in a new family with children. She is a boxer lab mix, and she is spayed, and I believe she's 4 years old. So a very, very good choice. I can see this dog as a great jogging companion. I could see it with a very young family. She's a little stressed right now. That's what that yawn means. And so I think that we're going to let her go, but come down and meet her, because she is, she has a tremendous amount of potential, and she really needs a new family. Yes, she does. She's a sweet girl, and she's trying very hard, aren't you? Yes, I know. Sometimes if you hide your head, the world goes away. It does. Yes, it does. You know what the most popular name for dogs at our shelter is? It's Buddy. And guess what? This one's name is Buddy. Yes. Buddy is a long-haired dachshund. Buddy, oddly enough, has been an outdoor dog. He comes in at night. I would recommend that Buddy be housebroken and be an indoor dog. I can't imagine there being a good outcome of leaving a dachshund alone outside all day, other than a lot of barking complaints. This one does like other dogs, and so he probably would be a good companion to a female. He is, however, not housebroken, and dachshunds have a reputation for not being really easy to housebreak. There are some tricks and some methods for housebreaking that would probably work better than others with him, but I think he is just a terrific little dog. He's not as jumpy and shaky as a lot of dachshunds are. He's very lovable, very snuggly, and I think he's in great shape. His coat is just gorgeous. So, those of you who have been looking for a small dog, here you go. Now remember, these guys are diggers. That's what they do. Dachshund is badger hound, and they haven't left all their DNA behind when they came little pocket pets. And as I said, they're a little difficult to housebreak, so you go into it knowing that. And that's the big thing. Sometimes they don't do real well with cats, but we can check that out, and as long as there's not so much prey drive that he's going to spend all of his time chasing a cat. Most cats are going to be bigger than he is anyway. So you'd want to let us help you test it with a cat that we have here at the shelter. Califort's job is testing dogs to make sure they're friendly in cat-owning households. And I think that we could certainly arrange to do that for you with Buddy, and that way you would know whether he'd be safe for your cat. Usually we don't recommend small dogs with small children. They tend to be a little too defensive of their bodies for very little kids. But then again, that really depends on the child. And while we haven't had this one out with little kids, haven't had any handy lately, I'm sure, could come up with a way to figure that out. Since we know the person who surrendered him to us, we might be able to check with them as well. There. Buddy is our last dog today. We had 3 more. They were all adopted while we were shooting the show. That's a good thing, but I'm sorry we didn't get to show them to you because one of them was quite remarkable. So Buddy and I will bid you adieu until our next program. Have a great springtime.